Amanda Reeves stared at the blank canvas in her downtown Chicago studio, paintbrush suspended in mid-air. At 34, she had achieved moderate success as an artist, but lately her work felt hollow, devoid of the passion that once drove her. Outside, Lake Michigan stretched gray and vast beneath a November sky, mirroring her internal landscape. The recurring dream had visited her again last night. The same desert landscape, the same ancient stone structure, the same face, her own, yet not her own, reflected in a pool of still water, and that voice deep and resonant. The agreement remains. You have chosen this path. Amanda set down her brush with a sigh. 3 months of these dreams, growing more vivid each time. Her therapist had suggested stress. Her friends blamed her recent divorce, but something deeper stirred within her, a truth her conscious mind couldn't grasp. Another dead end, she muttered, wiping paint from her hands. Her phone buzzed with a text from her sister Kate. Don't forget Mom's birthday dinner tonight. 7 p.m. The new place on Michigan Ave. Amanda had forgotten completely. She glanced at her watch, barely enough time to shower and change. The restaurant was warm and lively, a welcome contrast to her solitary studio. Her mother, Eleanor, beamed as Amanda slid into the leather booth. There's my girl, Eleanor said, embracing her. I was beginning to think your art had swallowed you whole. Sorry I'm late, Amanda replied, noticing an unfamiliar face at the table, an elderly man with kind eyes and silver hair. Who's this? This is Dr. Joseph Miller, Kate explained. He's Mom's new neighbor. We bumped into him on our way in and invited him to join us. Something about Dr. Miller's gaze unsettled Amanda, as if he already knew her. Ms. Reeves, he said, extending a weathered hand. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Have we met before? Amanda asked, unable to shake the feeling of familiarity. Not in this lifetime, he replied with the faintest smile. Dinner progressed pleasantly, though Amanda couldn't help noticing how Dr. Miller's attention repeatedly returned to her, studying her with quiet intensity. As dessert arrived, Eleanor excused herself to the restroom, with Kate following shortly after. Your dreams have been troubling you, Dr. Miller said once they were alone, his voice low and certain. Amanda froze. How could you possibly know that? The same way I know you've been drawing sketches of a temple you've never seen. The same way I know you feel pulled towards something you can't name. He reached into his coat pocket and withdrew a small, worn book. I worked with Edgar Cayce's foundation for decades. The soul knows what the mind forgets, Amanda. I don't understand. Before we enter each lifetime, we make agreements. Soul. Contracts, we choose our paths, our challenges, even the people we'll meet. These choices aren't random. They're carefully selected for our soul's growth. He slid the book across the table. Your dreams aren't dreams at all. They're memories of the agreement you made. Amanda's fingers trembled as she took the book. This is ridiculous. Is it? The temple in your dreams, it's in Egypt, a place called Abydos. You've drawn its details perfectly, though you've never been there or seen images of it. He leaned forward. The woman in your reflection isn't another person, Amanda. She's you. From a life some 3,000 years ago. A priestess who made a promise that your soul is now being called to fulfill. Amanda's chest tightened. How could he know these details? She hadn't told anyone about the temple, about the reflection. I don't believe in past lives, she said, though the words felt hollow. What we believe rarely changes what is true, Dr. Miller replied. Read the book. Come see me when you're ready. He placed a business card beside her plate and stood as Eleanor and Kate returned. Later that night, alone in her apartment, Amanda opened the book. Its pages were filled with case studies from Cayce's readings, ordinary people who, through hypnotic regression, recalled detailed past lives, lives that explained their current fears, talents, relationships, and purpose. She was about to set it aside when a passage caught her eye. The soul often chooses to return to complete unfinished work, to fulfill promises made in previous incarnations. These agreements form the architecture of our current life, drawing to us the people and circumstances needed for our soul's evolution. Amanda reached for her sketchbook and flipped to the drawings she'd hidden in its back pages. The temple, the pool, the hieroglyphs she somehow knew how to draw despite never having studied them. Her heart raced as she compared one symbol to an illustration in the book. They were identical. Sleep claimed her reluctantly that night, but when the dream came, it was sharper, more immersive than ever before. This time, she wasn't just observing, she was there, feeling the desert heat on her skin, the weight of ceremonial robes on her shoulders, and when she looked into the reflecting pool, she understood the face looking back was indeed her own, separated only by millennia. "You made a promise," the voice said, not disembodied now, but belonging to a tall figure standing beside her. "A promise to return when the knowledge was needed most. That time is now." Amanda woke with a gasp, heart pounding. Outside, the first light of dawn illuminated Chicago's skyline. She reached for her phone and, hands trembling, texted her gallery, "Manager, need to take a leave of absence, personal emergency." Then she picked up Dr. Miller's card. Whatever agreement she had made in another life, it was time to understand it. Dr. Miller's home was a Victorian brownstone in Lincoln Park, its walls lined with books and artifacts from around the world. Amanda sat stiffly in a leather armchair, clutching the small book he had given her. "I've read it," she said, "but I still don't understand what's happening to me." "Understanding comes in layers," Dr. Miller replied, setting a cup of tea before her, "like the layers of our existence across time." He gestured to a framed photograph on the wall, himself as a younger man, standing beside an elderly woman. "That's Gladys Davis, Edgar Cayce's longtime secretary. I worked with her in the final years of her life, documenting cases of spontaneous past life recall. And you think that's what's happening to me?" "I know it is." He sat across from her. "Tell me about the temple in your dreams." Amanda described it in detail. The stone columns, the sacred pool, the hieroglyphs etched into walls. Dr. Miller nodded, occasionally making notes. "The priestess, you see, what was her role?" "She was a keeper of records," Amanda replied, surprised by her own certainty. "She preserved knowledge, sacred knowledge about the soul's journey. But there was something else, something she hid or protected, something important for our time." Dr. Miller's eyes widened. Cayce spoke of this in his readings, ancient knowledge preserved by Egyptian priestesses, meant to be rediscovered when humanity needed guidance for a great transition. "This is crazy," Amanda whispered. "I'm an artist. From Chicago. I've never even been to Egypt." "The soul isn't bound by geography or time," Dr. Miller replied. Cayce described how souls often travel in groups across lifetimes. People you know now, your family, friends, even enemies, may have walked beside you in previous incarnations. Amanda thought of her ex-husband, how their relationship had felt both intensely familiar and impossibly difficult from the start. Is that why some relationships feel predetermined, like they're meant to teach us something? Exactly. Soul contracts bring us together with those we need to learn from, or those who need to learn from us. He studied her. "The dreams are just the beginning, Amanda. The soul's awakening often triggers a series of synchronicities designed to guide you." As if on cue, Amanda's phone chimed with an email notification. She glanced down and gasped. "What is it?" Dr. Miller asked. "An invitation to exhibit my work at a gallery in Cairo. They found my portfolio online and want me to participate in a show about modern interpretations of ancient wisdom. This can't be coincidence." "There are no coincidences," Dr. Miller said softly, "only the unfolding of what was already set in motion." That night, Amanda didn't dream of ancient Egypt. Instead, she found herself in a vast, luminous space, neither dark nor light, but somehow both. Before her stood 5 figures, their faces familiar yet impossible to place. "You have begun to remember," one said, a woman with eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of centuries. "Who are you?" Amanda asked. "We are the council that witnessed your agreement," another replied. "The souls who have traveled with you across many lifetimes." "What agreement? What am I supposed to do?" "When the time comes, you will know," the first figure answered. "But first, you must fully awaken to who you are. Not just who you were in Egypt, but in all the lives that have shaped your soul's journey." Amanda woke with tears streaming down her face, filled with a profound sense of both loss and recognition. She reached for her sketchbook and began drawing the faces from her dream. As her hand moved across the page, she realized with a shock that one of the faces belonged to her mother. 3 weeks later, Amanda stood in the departure terminal at O'Hare International Airport, passport in hand. Her mother and sister had been stunned by her sudden decision to travel to Egypt, but something in Eleanor's eyes suggested a deeper understanding than she expressed. "You'll find what you're looking for," Eleanor had said, embracing her with unusual intensity. "Some part of me has always known you would make this journey." Now, as the boarding call sounded for her flight to Cairo, Amanda felt both terror and exhilaration. Dr. Miller had arranged for her to meet with a colleague at the Association for Research and Enlightenment's Egyptian chapter, someone who specialized in past life regression. "Not all memories can emerge spontaneously," he had explained. "Sometimes they need a guide to help them surface." The 13-hour flight passed in a blur of anticipation and anxiety. In her carry-on, Amanda carried her sketchbook, Dr. Miller's book, and a small silver ankh pendant he had given her. "For protection," he had said, though she wasn't sure what she needed protection from. Cairo was a sensory explosion. Noise, color, scent, and movement swirling around her as she made her way through the crowded streets to her hotel. The gallery curator had arranged for her to stay near the exhibition space, in a district full of artists and intellectuals. Her room overlooked an ancient mosque, its minarets piercing the dusty sky. As the call to prayer echoed across the city, at sunset, Amanda felt a strange sense of homecoming wash over her. She had never been to Egypt, yet something in her recognized it bone deep. The gallery opening was scheduled for the following evening, but Amanda had arranged to meet Dr. Miller's contact first, Dr. Fatima Nassar, a respected neurologist who had controversial theories about memory and consciousness extending beyond a single lifetime. They met in a quiet cafe tucked away from the tourist districts. Dr. Nassar was younger than Amanda had expected, perhaps in her early 50s, with intelligent eyes and an air of contained energy. "Joseph has told me about your dreams," she said, after they had exchanged greetings, "and about your drawings." Amanda slid her sketchbook across the table. Dr. Nassar opened it, her expression shifting from polite interest to astonishment as she turned the pages. "These hieroglyphs," she murmured, "they're authentic and some are extremely rare. This particular sequence," she pointed to a series of symbols Amanda had drawn repeatedly. "It references the Hall of Records, a chamber that Cayce spoke of in his readings. A repository of ancient wisdom about human consciousness and our spiritual evolution. What does it mean?" "It means your soul carries memories of profound significance." Dr. Nassar closed the sketchbook. "Are you willing to explore them more deeply?" Amanda hesitated. "What does that involve?" "A regression session. Not hypnosis exactly, but a guided meditation that allows your conscious mind to step aside and let these memories emerge fully." She studied Amanda's face. "It can be intense. Some people experience the emotions and physical sensations of their past incarnations." Fear flickered through Amanda, but beneath it was a stronger current, a sense that this was exactly why she had come. "When?" she asked. "Tonight, if you're ready. The sooner you understand what your soul is trying to tell you, the sooner you can fulfill the agreement you made." That evening, in Dr. Nassar's quiet office overlooking the Nile, Amanda lay on a comfortable recliner, eyes closed, listening to the doctor's soothing voice guiding her deeper into a state of relaxed awareness. "You are safe," Dr. Nassar assured her. "You are simply accessing memories that already belong to you. Follow the corridor of light back through time, back to the life that is calling to you now." Amanda felt a strange sensation, as if she were floating and sinking simultaneously. Colors swirled behind her closed eyelids, resolving into images: the temple, the desert, the sacred pool. But now she wasn't just seeing them. She was there, fully present in another body, another time. "My name is Nefertari," she heard herself say, though her lips didn't move. "I serve in the Temple of Osiris at Abydos. I am keeper of the sacred records." "What year is it?" Dr. Nassar's voice seemed to come from very far away. "It is the 19th year of Pharaoh Seti's reign." The words emerged from some deep well of knowledge Amanda hadn't known she possessed. "What is your purpose there?" "I preserve the ancient wisdom, The knowledge of how souls journey through time, how they choose their paths, how they evolve through many lifetimes. Emotions surged through her. But there is danger. Those who seek power wish to use this knowledge for control rather than liberation. What happens, Nefertari? Images flooded Amanda's consciousness. Soldiers entering the temple, scrolls and papyri being seized, her own hands working frantically to hide the most sacred texts in a secret chamber beneath the temple floor. "I make a vow," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I swear to return when the time is right, when humanity stands at a crossroads and needs this wisdom again. I seal this chamber with my life's blood." The scene shifted. Amanda felt excruciating pain, saw herself wounded but completing a ritual at the sacred pool, speaking words of power that would bind her soul to this promise across millennia. "I see others," she continued, voice breaking, "souls who agree to return with me, to help me when the time comes. We make this covenant together." Who? Are they these souls? Faces appeared in Amanda's mind, faces she recognized, her mother, Dr. Miller, even her ex-husband, and others she had yet to meet. "They are my soul family," she whispered. "We have traveled together many times. And why has the time come now, Amanda? Why are you remembering this agreement now?" A vision expanded before her, Earth viewed from above, pulsing with light but also shadowed by darkness. Humanity at a pivotal moment of choice. "Because the knowledge must be rediscovered," she said with sudden clarity. "The ancient understanding of how souls choose their paths, not just after death but before birth, how we design our challenges for growth, how we are all connected across time. This wisdom can heal the division that threatens to tear humanity apart." Dr. Nassar's voice guided her gently back to the present, back to her body in modern Cairo. When Amanda opened her eyes, she felt transformed, as if the walls between her lifetimes had thinned, allowing memories to flow between them. "The Temple at Abydos," she said, sitting up slowly. "I need to go there." Dr. Nassar nodded. "I thought you might say that. I've arranged for a guide to take you tomorrow after your gallery opening." That night, Amanda couldn't sleep. She sat by her hotel window, watching Cairo's lights shimmer below, sketching frantically. Not the temple this time, but detailed maps of its underground chambers, showing passages that, according to archaeological records, had never been discovered. She knew with absolute certainty what she would find there, what she had hidden there 3,000 years ago, what she had promised to bring back into the world. The gallery opening passed in a surreal haze. Amanda stood beside her paintings, works that now seemed like primitive attempts to capture memories her conscious mind couldn't access. Art critics praised her intuitive connection to ancient Egyptian symbolism, while remaining unaware of the truth behind her work. A tall man with intense green eyes approached her as the evening concluded. "Ms. Reeves, I'm Daniel Mahfouz, your guide to Abydos." Something about him felt familiar. "Have we met?" A knowing smile touched his lips. In a manner of speaking, he glanced around. "Dr. Nassar explained your situation. I've spent my life studying Cayce's readings about Egypt. When she told me about your drawings of undiscovered chambers," he shook his head in wonder. "I've been waiting for someone like you." "You were there too, weren't you? In that lifetime?" Daniel nodded. "I've had dreams since childhood. Dreams of serving as a scribe in the Temple of Osiris. Dreams of helping conceal sacred knowledge. Dreams of making a promise to return." The journey to Abydos took them through lush fields along the Nile that gave way to stark desert beauty. Amanda sat comparing her sketches to Daniel's archaeological maps. "These chambers you've drawn don't appear in any official survey," he said. "Yet your drawings include details that match perfectly with known sections." Amanda traced the patterns she had drawn. "In my regression, I saw myself sealing these chambers with a ritual that would hide them until the right person came looking. My ancient temple of Seti. I rose from the desert, every detail exactly as she had dreamed, with special permission to remain after tourists left. Amanda moved through the temple not as a visitor, but as someone returning home. She led Daniel to a section dedicated to Osiris and stopped before a particular wall. "Here," she whispered. "Behind this wall lies the first chamber. Amanda placed her palms against the cool stone, closing her eyes. Words in an ancient language rose to her lips, a prayer she somehow remembered. For a moment nothing happened. Then, with a sound like a distant bell, a section of the wall shimmered, becoming translucent. "The vibration," Amanda murmured. "It responds to the sound pattern." A narrow passage appeared, leading downward into darkness. They descended a series of steps carved into bedrock, the air growing cooler, heavy with the scent of ancient stone and lotus blossoms. The passageway opened into a chamber with hieroglyphs unlike any Daniel had seen. "These are older than the temple itself," he said in awe. At the center stood a stone pedestal with a sealed container made of a strange material, not quite metal, not quite stone. Amanda's hands moved with certainty, pressing specific points in sequence. The container opened to reveal crystals arranged in a geometric pattern. "These are vibrational keys," she explained, knowing the information as if she had placed them there herself. They discovered 2 more chambers. The second contained preserved papyri with texts about soul journeys and consciousness. In the third and deepest chamber lay a large crystal sphere on a golden stand. "The Akashic Reader," Amanda whispered, "a device that allows access to what Cayce called the Akashic Records, the complete history of every soul's journey. If this is real, it would transform our understanding of human existence." "That's why it was hidden," Amanda replied, "and why it's being revealed now. Humanity stands at a crossroads. We've developed technology and power that our wisdom hasn't kept pace with." As she spoke, the crystal began to glow. Amanda touched its surface and was flooded with visions, not just of her life as Nefertari, but dozens of incarnations across time. She saw her connections to Daniel, to Dr. Miller, to her family, souls who had traveled with her repeatedly, playing different roles in her soul's evolution. Most profoundly, she saw the moment between lives when she had chosen her current existence, carefully, selecting parents, plotting major life events, building in challenges and gifts. When the visions subsided, Amanda found herself kneeling, tears streaming down her face. Daniel knelt beside her, having shared some portion of the experience. "We need to bring this knowledge back," he said softly, "just as we promised." In the weeks that followed, Amanda and Daniel worked with Dr. Nassar to document their discoveries. Amanda's art transformed, becoming a vehicle for expressing profound truths about soul journeys and interconnectedness across time. 6 months later, Amanda sat on her Cairo apartment balcony, watching sunset paint the ancient city gold. Her phone rang her mother. "I had a dream about you," Eleanor said. "You were in a beautiful temple showing me ancient texts, and somehow I could read them." A pause. "I've been having these dreams since you left." Amanda smiled. "Would you like to come to Egypt, Mom? There's something I need to show you." "I think I would," Eleanor replied. "I think I've been waiting my whole life to see it." Amanda gazed at her latest painting, depicting the moment between lifetimes when souls select their next incarnation. At the bottom, she had inscribed words from one of the ancient texts. "Your next life has already been chosen by the wisest part of yourself, the eternal soul that knows what experiences you need for growth. The challenges you face are not random, punishments but opportunities carefully selected. Remember this truth, and you will walk your path with purpose." The knowledge she had promised to bring back was spreading, person by person, touching those ready to receive it. The agreement she had made 3,000 years ago was being fulfilled. Amanda picked up her paintbrush. There was still so much to share, so many souls to awaken. The work of many lifetimes was just beginning.